Hey guys, it's the Funko Friends podcast. Today we, nope. I'm your host Johnny Funko with my co-host Simon Crook and my in-house moderator Diva Kind.
Hi guys.
And today on episode 70, we have the amazing, the heavy metal rocker, the one and the only
Chase's Kingdom.
Oh, shit. What's up? What's going on? Fire the cannons. Let's go. Funko Friends podcast. Yeah, man. What's happening, you guys?
Nothing much. Can't complain. Just want to say hi to a few people in the chat.
Let's get some shout outs going.
We have Mr. Awesome. We have Quick Draw McGraw, the Proper Popper. Beast Poppin'.
What it do?
And who else?
Crazy Scottish, Mr. Awesome, Self, Diva Kind.
Seth Floyd. Let's go. Ska.
Let's go.
Yep. So let's get into the questions. So how did you come up with your YouTube name?
How did I come up with my YouTube name? My name's Chase. That's one. And I'm all about the Viking heritage and kingdoms and everything. And it was kind of fitting. Funko and the whole, Chase. Funko. It felt right. I was writing down a couple different names. And one of my buddies was like, man, this is like a kingdom of pops. He's in my room. I'm like, Jesus Kingdom. Let me write that down real quick. And I don't know, out of all the names that I wrote down, Chase's Kingdom seemed the one that just stuck out the most. And I figured I'd get more views because they'd see Chases. They wouldn't think it was my name. They would think, oh, he must have a bunch of Funko Chases. So I'm like, that's a win-win. Smash that like button.
When I first saw your name, I thought you were from the UK because Kingdom. I was like, oh, he's from the UK. And then I looked at your channel. I'm like, nope, he's not.
No, not from the kingdom. I'm not from the kingdom. I'd like to be in the kingdom. The kingdom down under, is that what we're talking about?
Yep.
I love all that stuff, man. I love anything European, Scottish, that whole thing, man. I'm just obsessed with it. I love it.
Right. So what made you want to create a YouTube channel? Like what pushed you to do a channel?
Well, let's see. I was doing BAM boxes. I don't know if you know BAM. They're like mystery boxes, and they would always send you autographs. And what got me into it was I had the chance to get an autographed Chucky Pop. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, hell yeah, let's sign up for that. And I started getting the subscription boxes. Well, by like the third subscription box, I watched a couple YouTubes because I was trying to get cheats. Like, what are they getting in these boxes, So I'd go on YouTube, and a couple people were doing BAM boxes at the time. And I was watching, I'm like, I have a little bit of a production background, so I was like, man, I could do that. I could totally do that. I think I'd be pretty good at that. So I'm actually a front man, so I'm not scared to be in front of a camera or talk to people. I'm like, this seems like something I could get into. And I tried it once, and it went over okay at my kitchen counter. I didn't have any kind of full production, but I had a camera, and I don't know. I caught the bug from there with the BAM boxes, and then the BAM boxes started getting pretty lame. They stopped giving us Funko in them, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not really into these BAM boxes, but there's plenty of Funko to collect.
Right.
So I went from there.
That's sick. Yeah. Just want to say hi to a few more people in the chat. Nadia,
popping in.
Little Monster, Soul Blood Paul, Dream, Johnny, friend. We have a lot of people coming in.
They're all piling in. Let me see.
So what YouTube channel do you like and kind of look up to for inspiration?
For inspiration. Inspiration. Who was I following from the get? I mean, who I was gravitated to the most was Wayne from Wanko. I gravitated towards his stuff because I don't know. He had a higher production level than most, and I really what a genuine cool guy. Like you reach out to him and he'd reach right back to me and was like, because I just reached out to him, not even anything about being on a show or anything to do with my show. I just wanted, reached out on Instagram, was like, hey, I just wanted to say you got great production, this, that, and the other thing. And we kind of became friends from there. And then I met Tech from TechBot, the mighty TechBot, Mr. TechBot. Great freaking guys, man. Great guys. And from there, it was like, okay, I think I'm digging this community thing,
Right.
And then inspiration-wise, I would say Slushland. He's like one of the most inspiring individuals I've ever met in the community. Tells you how it is, doesn't hold anything back, and he just makes me laugh constantly. I mean, he's constantly posting stuff that just cracks me up, and then he's a fellow Canadian, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But very inspiring.
And
the proper popper. Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
What's up, Flush?
Hey, Slash.
Yes.
How long have you been making YouTube videos for?
I think just about 2 years now. Just got past the 2-year mark, I do believe.
Oh wow!
Poppin',
So you're fairly new.
Fairly new.
Yeah.
Like I said, I dabbled on and off for a couple months, and then went full. Like, let's go, full production. Let's learn what's up. Let's go. Upgrade the cameras and the microphones and everything. So a little over 2 years.
Oh wow! So what makes your channel unique and special in your eyes? What do you bring to the table?
100% transparency. And there's another reason why Slush was so inspiring, because I felt like after like a year of doing it, like a lot of people tiptoe around certain things and they make friends they're playing patty cake all the time with certain people because they don't want to come across as, what's the word I'm looking for? Just, they want to make as much friends and subs as possible, so they're just kissing butts, and I'm like, I'm here to entertain. I'm here to entertain you, and if you can't handle a little bit of, if you got to have some thick skin sometimes, especially in the society today, like not enough people have thick skin. Everybody's just offended constantly at it, the smallest little thing, and it was just like, that's not my channel. I wanted to give people like me somewhere to come that they don't have to feel like they have to play patty cake with everybody all the time, and just be yourself and just have fun and just, so that's what I want people to come hang out with me and just feel like they can say whatever they want in the chat without being, oh, maybe so-and-so's not going to like me if I say, what, you don't like Buccaneers? What? Go skip rocks.
Yeah.
Your team sucks. Don't be mad because my team's awesome and your team's not firing off cannons in the end zone. I'm sorry.
And we had the goat.
So we're gonna jump out of YouTube questions and jump right into Funko questions. So what was your very first Funko you have ever collected in your collection?
My very first Funko was my Batman Dorbs. He's up in the corner over here. I still keep him out, kind of displayed, but he's not buried like most of the Funkos that I have. Everything's buried. So if you were to tell me to go grab him, but yeah, Batman Dorbs. I just walking through a store randomly. I'm a huge Batman fan and saw him. What is this? Oh, he's cool. I mean, I'm gonna buy this. I didn't even know anything about Funko. Had him for a good probably 4 years before I even knew the world of Funko. And then it was like, once I got into Funko, wait a minute, I think I have one of those. Went and found him. Was like, oh, I have a Batman Dorbs Funko. So that would be the very first. My Dorbs Batman.
So Quick Draw McGraw says they ain't firing off cannons at the Super Bowl tomorrow.
No, we're firing them in Tampa. It'll take a while to get to Arizona where the Super Bowl is, but Patrick Mahomes might want to look out. Just keep an eye on the sky. You never know.
A Funko you would like them to make in the future that they haven't made yet.
They haven't made yet. Now, this question's come up quite a bit during the years of hanging out and doing these shows and stuff. And I had, not too recently, but recently said I would love to see What We Do in the Shadows. And it came to fruition. They're actually doing What We Do in the Shadows, which, if you're not familiar, is a vampire show. And it's shot kind of like Real World from back in the MTV days, where it's all live. And these vampires live in a house together. Each vampire's from a different genre of vampire. And they're basically all roommates and live in a house together. And there's a camera crew that films their life. So it's a great show. I do believe they're on like season 3. But I wanted those pops so bad. And they're finally making them. And it's like every time I think of cool pops that should be made, they actually start making them. So that's one of the ones. And recently, I do believe it was this year, and it should be here within the next month or so, Twisted Pops, which Twisted is a horrorcore group that I listen to. The Juggalos know, whoop whoop, family. We've been wanting some Twisted Insane Clown Posse stuff for a while, and we finally get our Twisted Pops. But yeah, there's nothing that I can think of just top of my head that they should make like right now, other than the Anthrax Not Man. They have not made an Anthrax pop yet. I would love to have a Not Man Anthrax pop.
That's funny. So how many Funkos do you have in your collection so far, if you know? If you don't know, we'll move
I'm
on.
well over 2,500. I'm 2,500 or more. I got to be creeping on a 3,000 for sure. Yes, and I'm trying to thin the herd.
So our next question is collecting a hobby or an addiction at this point?
I'm gonna say both. Okay, so long story short, basically when I discovered how awesome Funko are, I decided to, I kept seeing people who were selling them. Obviously, I'm like, oh, I'll get, especially the stickered exclusives. Back in the day, I could buy 2. I'd sell, let's say one, they were both $15. I would sell one for $30, and that would pay for the other one, and I could keep one and sell one. So it was like I can build my collection for free. This was the mindset. After about a year and not selling as many as I thought I would be able to sell, all of a sudden, okay, well now I'm just going to get one because I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell both. And being a Funko collector, it's hit or miss. You could get one thinking it's going to be a grail and it's going to go up, and it just nothing. And then others just skyrocket $200 pop. You're just like, wow, I can't believe I got 3 of those. So wait. Quick draw.
Quick draw.
Love that guy.
So favorite soda in your collection, if you collect sodas?
My favorite soda. Eesh. I've been collecting sodas since the beginning, and okay. I would have to say I'm gonna go with my first soda chase, which would have been my Joker, the old school Jack Nicholson Joker soda. Or no,
I used to have that.
Not Jack.
Sorry,
not Jack. Keith Ledger. Keith Ledger. He's holding the cards. Yeah, Keith Ledger chase. That'd be it.
What soda would you like to see made in the future?
what soda would I like to see? What pop and then what soda?
Yeah, soda.
I tell you what sodas I'd like to see made would be
Well, yeah.
the Iron Maiden Funkos, the whole line, all of them. All those
I would
Iron
say
Maiden
that.
pops are phenomenal. I'd love to see those in soda form,
I would
honestly,
see
because
that.
they're just by far the details, the nostalgia, and they should do something cool with the cans. Make them black. Do something cool. You know,
Yeah.
chrome out the whole can. Do something metallic, anything besides
Yeah,
the
that would
cheesy
be dope.
white can.
What's the ideal count you would make those?
They don't do
Well,
counting.
what
Like,
would the
would you do it
count?
like this? So, like here, they have international, so they're a little bit more here. But like, would you make it population of 5,000? Would you make it 10? Because now they started making ones that are like 20,000, which is a little too
Right.
much, you know?
Well, seeing that, you know, there's, I wouldn't say it's a small group, but there's the metalhead community is not very large as far as when it comes to Funko. So I would probably keep it lower numbers, like 12
12,000. Yeah.
around 1,200, somewhere around there. I wouldn't go any more than that. 'Cause then, you know, you're gonna be stuck with, I don't know, what was it? Deadpool was 15,000, and I'm still seeing Deadpools around.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so what's one soda you were disappointed in how they made it?
That's disappointed in how they made it. So I got quite a few that were like very disappointing. And I've always been the guy, like, if you follow my show, like, I like the commons more than I like the chases. So normally I'm disappointed in most of the sodas because the chases are garbage. I'm like, why? Why? Which I was just watching Bearded Barbarian's latest video drop with some Slimers, and the chase had a hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay, you put a hot dog in his hand. That's awfully disappointing. You could have done something way cooler than that. They could have done it with the mouthful of hot dogs. Would have been cool. You know.
I was pissed off with the Andy soda that they're coming out for the con. It's him with only just sunglasses, like the Chase's sunglasses. Like they could have done another, like him with the broken leg or something. It's annoying. Yeah.
I think what they're also trying to do is, like, I think they've noticed that you can weigh some of the chases, so they're trying to now stick away from, like, you know, obvious ways to find it. So I guess it's an adjustment. Yeah.
True. I mean, but they could be smart about it. You know, the chase has a sword. Just make the figure. Don't use, because vinyl has a certain grading. So the higher the grade, the thicker the vinyl, the heavier it is.
Right.
So if you were going to make a chase, use a lesser grade vinyl.
Yeah.
And add let's just use Deadpool as an example, with swords and him holding the unicorn. Like, you could do all that and still be at that same weight ratio as long as the grading of the vinyl is a little less.
Yeah.
Which Funko does tend to do less graded vinyl. Recently, which I discovered on one of my shows, was the art series. Marvel art series, especially the ones that have, and even the Teenage Mutant ones where he had the just melting pizza slices all over his face. The vinyl is the grade on that vinyl is really low, because when you just flick it with your finger, it's like hard plastic. It's not even vinyl anymore. I mean, you drop it, it shatters. And they started trying to cut corners and make them a little cheaper that way, I guess, so they could make a little more money. But that's one of the things. Is the cheaper stuff there. Rocket glass.
So, what do you think about Funko taking off the numbers off the front of the sodas now?
I'm with the majority. I think it's garbage that they're doing that. I've noticed with a few others that they're only doing that with Marvel so far. I haven't noticed any other drops,
Right.
or drops that have been announced that have no number. They just recently, at the con that's coming, or is here, but they had the Batman and a few others, but they had numbers, and I was like, okay, well, that's weird. DC, I think maybe one might have been an anime. They had numbers. The only ones that came out recently that didn't have the numbers were the Wakanda Forever. Who was the Black Panther Wakanda Forever sodas? Which, it's Marvel's. So I honestly think it has something to do with the contract, something to do with had to be something to do with the contract. That's all I can figure so far. Two boys and their scary pops. What's up, man?
I think it might be because like it's the wrong count. Like that's a count for certain areas, and it's not accurate.
So somebody in the factory screwed up, brought to like 2,000 of them without the number, and it was like, oh shit, what do we do? I don't know, just keep printing them without the number.
They won't notice.
We can't just put them out there. That what we're gonna do.
So we're just gonna say hi to a few people in the chat. Hey Eric. Hey Mad Hatter Pops. Hey Umpty Scratch. Comics by the Bay. Welcome. Rocket Blast Gaming. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming in. What is your favorite line of Funko Pops of all time?
Favorite line? That's another. I would tend to say Star Wars just because I have quite a lot of Star Wars, but that's the most of any line that I collect would be Star Wars. So like, huge fan of DC, huge fan of Marvel. Love me some Marvel. Huge Spider-Man fan, huge Batman fan. But I don't tend to collect everything in the Marvel world or the DC world. But when it comes to Star Wars, there's just so many awesome characters, and it's hard not to collect different characters from that genre. So I would definitely say the Star Wars. So I guess we consider that sci-fi.
Yes.
Yeah. With Marvel, like you niche on a character, whereas Star Wars, you like everything. It's like a broad. It's like a world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to. So. I mean, obviously, I'm going to go with Vader, but you got Boba Fett and now Mandalorian, and I could, so on and so on, Kylo, and it's just, just so much more to collect.
What was your very first Funko chase in your collection? Because your chase is Kingdom.
Very first Funko chase. I do believe that would be the glow-in-the-dark Venom with wings. Glow-in-the-dark Venom with wings.
That is dope. I love that pop.
Oh, it really is a good one.
It is a beautiful pop.
Did you pick that up in the wild?
That was a pop in the box pre-order.
Oh, nice.
So that was my first just pre-order chase. Now in the wild, I tend to find quite a lot of chases in the wild, and I've kind of honed in on how to do that. Before, back in a year or so ago, we'd have to stand in lines to get into the store to be able to snag, and they'd always tell you, well, we only got a couple chases, and you were lucky to be the third in line to be able to get a chase. Nowadays, not so much. There's not so many lines anymore. So my advice is just be there before the store opens. And my current job allowed me to be able to do that because I drive around. I owned a pool cleaning business. I could start when I want, and I could go stand in front of a store for 2 hours in the morning, wait for it to open.
Yeah, that's fair. I have the similar kind of thing. I work at a mall, so.
First in line every time.
Yeah. So
I'm taking my break now before I even start the day.
So we have a question in the chat.
Okay, Two Boys and Their Scary Pop says, ask him about the security guard who would sneak ahead of him in line. LOL.
Okay. Well, there was the employee entrance to the mall, and scumbags would sneak in that damn door, and I'd be standing at the door waiting for the security guard to let us in. And you go running around the corner, and there's the dude standing there, and boy, I used to get so fired up, mad. A little too mad, to be honest with you. One time, sure, okay, yeah, you got me. Second time, now, come on. Now, third time, I was mad. Madman. Stormed straight over to the security office, gave them the what for not doing their job. Like, you're supposed to be security. How's he getting in early? How's this guy? I mean, talk about some crap security. I just gave him the what for. So, but they put the hammer down on that, so that don't happen anymore. Not in my mall anyway.
That's awesome.
Nice.
We have another question from the chat.
Okay, another one from Eric. What was the weirdest thing you had to clean out of a pool?
The weirdest thing?
The
weirdest. The most weird thing I've cleaned out of a pool.
I want to know.
Something dead?
Mine would be normal.
Oh, plenty of dead things.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know if I've ever cleaned anything weird out of a pool. I've had to get a barbecue grill out of a pool. I guess you could consider that weird.
That is.
We had a little too much fun on the side of the pool and knocked the grill in. The weirdest. I guess I would say a Nile monitor lizard would be the weirdest.
Really?
Nile monitor, and he was I'd say about 4.5, maybe 5 foot long.
Wow.
Mean. Lord, mean.
Good Lord.
Just want to say hi to a couple people more. Wanko, welcome, my brother.
Go.
X-Men Gamer 2027-1, welcome. All right, for our next question is, how many chases do you have in your collection, if you know?
Ooh. I would go with about I got over 75.
That's
sure.
a decent, yeah. That's a lot.
Basically, like this whole section
Yeah.
is all chases right here.
Wow.
So that, or this section, is all
Yeah,
chases.
these
And
orange
I got
seals.
some sprinkling in throughout the room.
That's awesome.
So our next question is, what is your favorite place to shop for Funko Pops?
I'm going Target. Hot Topic usually is pretty good, but they're very hit or miss with the Funkos that I like to collect. And I got the lock on my Target. If you follow the Kingdom, especially if you follow the Morning Brew, I give little tips and tricks and little things that I do. And I've honestly, like, everybody complains about the Target employees because you ask them for a Funko, they don't even know what you're talking about, and this and that, or they're aggravated with it, and they don't want to go look in the back. Yeah, well, I understand. Kill them with kindness is what I say. Kill them with kindness. Be a regular. Go there every other day. Just walk in and be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? And just don't even ask them about Funko.
Right.
Go look at the Funko. Don't ask about anything in the back. A couple days later, go back in there. Make yourself a regular face and always smile and be polite and happy. And then when you finally do say, hey, and you got your phone out and you're like, did this Funko come in? They're going to look. Oh, yeah, I think I have that in the back. I've even offered them lunch. I bought a couple employees lunch at Target before. Hey, middle of the afternoon, like, hey, you hungry? I can run next door and, go grab you a sub. No. Oh, seriously, you want a sub? Hey, man, it's like that old thing, you kind of grease the wheels. Back in the day, you throw them a 20 and be like, hey, I just want to say I appreciate you.
If you didn't bring that up, I was going to bring it up because I remember on one Morning Brew you were saying that you brought these guys in lunch. I'm like, that's so genius.
Hey, it works, man. This morning, there was 30 minutes till Morning Brew. Bling. I look. Oh, snap. The new strange Target Con pop. See, I've even got them trained to where they'll take pictures of the stock and send me a picture so I don't have to run my ass up there every time. I traded phone numbers, too, so now I got them calling me and texting me pictures of the stock. So then I'm like, awesome, on my way. And Target's, I could almost hit it with a rock. That's how close it is to my house. So I was able to go there and back within 30 minutes and start the show this morning and have a new Funko to show on the show, the new Target Con.
That's awesome.
Where is he? He's hanging out somewhere around here. Oh. So I just picked up this bad boy
Nice. Oh, nice.
this morning. And, you know, that's... I'll tell you what, man. Like I said, kill 'em with kindness. And I've actually started to implement that with my Five Below, which I had my wife giggling the other day because the phone rings. I'm like, oh, sweet. She's like, who's that? I'm like, I can't remember her name, but she works at Five Below. And she's like, what? I'm like, look, she's sending me pictures of the new Funkos that they just got. Because it's the same thing. I was going in there twice a week because I asked her, well, do you know when you get stock normally? You know, it was just a random question on one of the times that I had been there. And she said, normally Tuesdays and Thursdays. So there you go, Tuesday and Thursday morning. Who's standing out there waiting for it to open? This guy. She would get disappointed. I'm sorry, hon. We didn't get anything today. You're probably gonna open up a box later this afternoon. I'm gonna miss it. Well, give me your phone number, and I'll I was like, I think if I gave you my number, you could, give me a call. Kind of, sure. and now I got that on lock.
Honey, why is Stacy calling you? Oh, it's a Target employee. I swear, hon.
I swear, I promise. You can come with me.
So final and last Funko question is, do you care about sticker placement?
Sticker placement?
Yeah.
I mean, I do tend to try to look for the ones that are on a little more straight than crooked or whatever. So is that what we're referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah, because even this guy, his Target sticker is a little crooked there. I went through the whole case. I mean, she had 6 of them. Only one case came in, but I did pull every one to see which one had the best sticker placement. So,
Wow.
but that's just your OCD kicking in, right?
Yeah.
That's crooked. It's gonna bug me.
Are they just like sitting there with their eyes closed and just doing like 100 at a time, just going to slap?
No,
You know?
right? Or it's coming down the line and they're just stick a bunch of stickers on you and slap them on as they go by.
Okay, it's not straight, whatever. I'm not going to see it again.
So we're jumping out of Funko question and jumping into tattoo questions. So what was your first tattoo you ever got?
My first tattoo was the Overkill Charlie bat. Now that would be a cool pop. There's another cool pop.
Yeah.
Overkill has a mascot, Charlie, and he's a skull with horns and bat wings. And I decided I'm gonna slap him on my ankle. Now this is quite a while ago, because I'm an old guy. But I wasn't old enough to have tattoos. But my uncle at the time did tattoos. So for my birthday, I was like, hey, you slap that on the inside ankle area. That way my mom doesn't see it and kick my ass, right? So he puts it on there, and my dumb ass takes a nap on the couch with my leg hanging out, and all I remember was getting woke up to a white flash. Whap! I told you not to get a tattoo. You had to wait till you were 18. So that was my first one, though.
A white flash. That's pretty much the best way to describe it.
So we have a question from the chat. Go ahead.
Okay, Eric asks, ask him if he ever stunt double for the actor in
You don't know his
Machete.
You don't know his name, Holmes? What's wrong with you, man? You got to get his name on there. The actor from Machete. I mean, it could be anybody, Holmes. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I've gotten that quite a bit. I've gotten the, are you related to Lemmy? Do you see any moles?
Oh, there's the picture.
That guy's been in 100.
I do get that kind of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see the little.
Kind of looks like arcade as well. If you
a
ask
little
me.
bit of arcade in there too. Yeah.
What is your most memorable moment? I can't say this word.
Memorable moment.
Memorable
my handwriting's bad. Yeah. What was your most meaningful tattoo?
Memorable tattoo. Oh.
Yeah.
I'd show you. I don't. That one.
Oh wow.
It's just
Oh wow.
my rib cage. That was the most painful shit ever, man. I mean, good lord. I mean, I am covered. I have full back piece, full sleeves, as you can see. I've even got some armpit action going. It was pretty brutal, but when they're clicking off of each rib as they go down, yeah, that's not fun. Let me tell you. that was just. And my tattoo artist, I'm cussing him out the whole time. I hate you, you suck, Bob. You think it'd make it worse, but it was just like, I tend to curse a lot when I'm getting tattooed.
So how many
Damn.
tattoos do you have?
Oh, that question I couldn't technically answer because my back piece currently is a graveyard with probably over 300 tombstones or more. Basically, at the bottom, they're bigger tombstones. As it goes up my back, it goes into basically mountains. So you're talking miles of tombstones. So it goes, and they get smaller and smaller as it goes way in the back. But the concept was, if I had a friend that had passed, a family member, a pet, I could put their name on a tombstone. It was my way of like a little tribute to, the people I care about the most, and that was the concept behind the graveyard.
Cool.
A future plan for a tattoo?
A future plan for a tattoo.
For tattoos for the future.
Well, I probably should. I got an original OG. I don't know if you can see it there. I'm sure Simon will appreciate that. But I got the OG Bucks logo skull. So I need the new skull.
Yeah.
And I figure I need to put the 2 Super Bowl numerals, the Roman numerals for when they won the Super Bowl. So that's a future one I've been thinking about.
Right.
And I really need a good Odin piece. So I think my next big move would be Odin. Some sort of Valkyrie style type piece. And I think I'm gonna I was thinking about the throat, but the wife's not really she's not really wanting me to do that. But I'm like, come on, I'm running out of real estate, honestly. I promise I'll never do my face. Come on.
Good.
I mean, I already got a full pirate ship on my neck.
Oh yeah.
What was that like?
It wasn't bad. It actually was not bad at all. It was a little tickly when it got behind the ear, but I mean, honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Not at all. Nope.
Yeah. I'm planning to get my throat done, and the wife says it's okay, but no face tattoos whatsoever, or she'll disown me.
You can say that.
Then
we're done. If you get face tattoos.
You could do it, but
most painful tattoo, you kind of touched upon that, the ribs, right?
The rib piece. The rib piece was definitely one of my most painful. And then I would go, I have a 6 Feet Under logo right there. When it got up into the collarbone area, because I actually have a, where's that? My spider web right here in my collarbone pit. That one had my eyeball twitching. He was hitting nerves out. Whoa. So, the collarbone and the rib cage was the most brutal. I would say I would tie. They would both be a tie for sure.
So final and last tattoo question: would you ever get a Funko tattoo?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Of what?
Of what? Of which one would be the question. It would be cool to get like a rock and roll style Freddy, since I'm like such a metalhead. Yeah. I'd like to get like a, I don't know, Freddy Funko in like a spiked leather jacket and tore up, ripped, Levi jeans and holding a metal sign or something cool like that.
Yeah.
Because, I wouldn't go necessarily with a rock pop. I mean, Iron Maiden Funkos would be kind of cool, but something original that's never been done. I think I would go with a rock and roll Freddy.
So now we're jumping into horror. So what is your favorite horror film of all time?
Of all time?
Of all time,
I'm not going to go with the big four or anything. I'm going to go 13 Ghosts. I'm going to go 13 Ghosts, and those are some Funkos that need to be made immediately.
Yeah.
13 Ghosts.
I've never seen it. I have to check that out. Is it?
Oh. Wow, what a great movie. Oh. Great. You definitely got to check that out.
Okay. Most disliked horror film?
Human Centipede.
Yeah, I hated that movie.
Or was it Tusk? You ever seen Tusk? The guy turns into a walrus or whatever. That was hard.
Yeah, that one was horrible too.
Sorry.
What was your first film ever watched? Horror film?
The original Nightmare on Elm Street. Saw it in a drive-in when I can't even remember whether the year it came out, but I had to have been around 9, 10 years. I saw it at a drive-in movie theater of all places. But if technically, would you consider Jaws a horror movie?
Yeah, it's classified as a horror movie.
I guess I would say Jaws. And my hippie parents took me to the theater to see Jaws. Why would you do that to a 7-year-old? What the hell's wrong with you? I was freaking terrified.
Dee's the same way. She saw it really young too.
And I'm scarred for life.
I
What's under me? It's just floating.
Yeah.
That's scary. Oh yeah. If I can't see underneath the water, I can't see what's under me. Like I'm imagining sharks. I'm imagining
the most
automatically. It's wired in my brain. Yeah. Even in like rivers and lakes, like I can't go into water. It's like
I know. Like if you were to your boat sinks, I would die of a heart attack before I would die of drowning getting back to shore. There's something under me right now.
I thought you'd be like chill with sharks. Like, yeah, they're my best friend. But...
So if you could appear in a horror film, which one would it be?
House of 1,000 Corpses, for sure.
Because Rob Zombie's in it?
No, just the storyline. The whole storyline was just, for me, was so original and just so well done. With Dr. Satan! Dr. Satan! I don't know. That whole horror story was just spectacular, in my opinion, as far as... Because you had the Texas Chainsaw Family, but after that, I mean, The Hills Have Eyes. That would be just so epic. The murderous family, and just the characters were spectacular. I'd definitely go with House of 1,000 Corpses.
Just want to say hi to Anthony Blaze. Welcome.
Anthony Blaze.
Let's go.
Skull. Mr. Blaze.
And Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
What is your favorite horror movie snack?
Scooby Snacks. No.
Nice. Let's go.
Snack. I don't know. Well, there's a theater here in Florida where they actually serve like meals, dinner, and every time we go, I have pizza, and it's spectacular. I get to eat pizza and watch a movie. But I would say Hot Pockets or something to that effect.
Yeah, pizza. Okay. So what is your favorite Halloween costume?
Favorite Halloween costume? That I've been?
If you want to, yeah. Or seen.
Well, I would say Pinhead. I've seen somebody in a full Pinhead. I don't know how they pulled it off as well as they did. It blew my mind. I thought that was the most cool thing. I could never do it because I got too much hair for Pinhead. I can't even fit it in a bald cap. As far as that, I've been a Buccaneer fanatic. Tampa Bay Buccaneer fanatic. Painted the face, did the whole night. On my Facebook, I go to the games that way too. Like, I was a season ticket holder for 3 years during some of the seasons. Sadly, before Brady. It's so fun. You go there, if you're dressed up like a fanatic, the other fanatics tend to gravitate towards each other. So you get Buccaneer Elvis, you get the Buccaneer Yeti. Yeah, there's a few. There's a few, and they are fun to party with, man. Let me tell you.
You know Biz Nasty?
Oh, Big Nasty. I ran into him in Cleveland. He was not so happy, neither was I, because we had lost the game and he was on his way out. But I did pause, and I so wanted to say, hey, can we take a picture real quick? But we just weren't in the mood. We just lost in overtime. It was just not prudent upon me to ask him at that time. But I have met Big Nasty, and he is actually a really cool guy.
Yeah. He said happy birthday to me this year on my Facebook. So I was pretty happy about that, pretty honored.
Nice.
Yeah.
God, Eric. You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Okay, Eric had a little joke. I got some corn at the store for $1
Dad joke.
Dad joke.
He's doing with the sucking ears.
All right, it's time to get into trivia. Are you ready? And the trivia is Fight Club.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Who directed Fight Club? Do you remember? I could give you
I
initial.
suck at trivia. I really suck at trivia.
DF.
No.
David Fincher.
I just don't know. I don't know.
No worries, no worries. What is the name of Edward Norton's character?
That's a trick question. Tyler Durden.
Well, so it says here, we never really learn his name, but they refer to him as the narrator. So, yeah. So when I think about that, I actually do, because like obviously when you find, I don't want to be a spoiler, but at the end, you find out,
right. Okay,
who's talking, who is it really,
Right,
But
okay.
what automotive company does the narrator work for? Edward Norton. Do you remember what he does?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember what he does.
You know what his occupation was? Not maybe the name, because actually it's a major one, but he does something for that company. Do you remember?
Oh, man. I know exactly where, because especially when he goes into the office to quit, like he tells him what he won't do and what he won't say. Oh, what is it? It's like quality control, something to that effect. Oh.
Yeah, close. Okay, so he recalls vehicles. So he crunches the numbers, and whether he decides either he's in charge of either recalling the vehicles or paying out for the settlement. When it came to the end.
These things that I know.
What medical issues plague him as the story opens? He has a medical issue.
Insomnia.
There you go. Ding. Nice. Where's the ding? Where's the
Ding,
ding?
There we go. 1 out of 50 questions, right?
Okay. What odd pursuit helps him with his insomnia? So he does something to help him with his insomnia.
Hey, well,
not something particular.
He goes to support groups.
There you go.
He seeks out different support groups. So it could be support for cancer, alcoholism, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Ding. Okay.
2.
I'll hit a horn.
I need it.
There we go.
Let's go. Okay, what name? Do you remember what name he assumed when he attended the testicular cancer support group? He had 2 names that he kind of referred to himself when, hello, my name is. This is kind of hard. This is very specific. Like you would have to
really have to.
So
and I know this too. It's just I'm worse at on the spot answering. Oh, I think I even have that name tag. It's that he always. Oh, what the hell was it? It's not Bob. Bob was Meatloaf in the movie.
Rupert and
Man.
Travis.
Rupert and
Rupert.
Travis.
Rupert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. That's really specific. That's like picture perfect memory there.
Mhm.
Not this guy.
You have to picture the tag, right? Who plays Bob, the testicular cancer patient that the
Meatloaf.
narrator becomes? There you go, buddy.
Yep.
There we go.
That's
Bing, bing.
Music question. What ruins his enjoyment of the support group?
Wait, say that again?
What ruins his enjoyment of the support groups?
Oh man, I can't remember her character's name. A person that would, she was going to all the support groups, and she really, a female showed up at a testicular cancer support group, and he's like, "You're ruining." And then they traded days. I'll go on Tuesdays, and you can go on Wednesdays. I cannot remember her name though. Trudy.
Nailed. Bing. That's the right
Well,
answer.
good, yeah, bing.
I don't. They didn't give me the name, but it says he spots a woman doing the exact same thing he's doing.
There
So,
it is.
where does the narrator meet Tyler Durden?
Where does the narrator?
For the first time? Yeah. Where did him and Brad Pitt meet for the first time?
At a bar.
Airplane.
What?
Yeah, in an airplane for the first time.
Oh, that's right. No, you're correct. You're correct. Absolutely, that's right.
Mama J.
Because he passes him the card, the famous card. Tells him he's Tyler Durden and he sells soap.
That's right. Well, that's what does Tyler do for a living?
Makes it sell
Nice
soap.
segue. Bing. All right.
Bing.
The best soaps.
After meeting on the plane, why does the narrator meet Tyler again? I guess they meet up again after getting on the or after leaving the plane, and they meet randomly.
That would be the bar. I do believe it was the bar.
I believe that. So yeah, I think, and he needs a place to stay. So I guess they met at the bar, and then he needed a place to stay and go back home. So
Yeah, and he's like, oh, we can go to my house. Yeah.
Bing. All right. This one is actually a funny one. I remember this scene. Where does the narrator hit Tyler after much encouragement?
In the ear.
There you go. Yeah. Bing.
Bing.
You couldn't punch him, right? He's
hit me
like,
in the ear.
yeah.
It just kind of hits me in the ear.
Patty cake. What street is Tyler Durden's house on? Oh, this one's a tough one.
Ooh. Oh, man.
I'll give it to you if you get this.
That's a deep dive right there. Oh,
All right.
man. What street? Chrysler Avenue. I don't know.
Paper Street. Paper Street, like paper. Okay.
Wow, Paper
What
Street.
question does the onlooker at one of the early flights ask? So, what question does an onlooker at one of the early flights they're on ask? I guess the narrator. That's kind of specific. That's another. Can I be next? Can I be next? All right.
Next.
What is the second rule of Fight Club?
Must know this.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Bing. Let's go.
Good job.
All right.
Took me. That's like first and second rule of the same rule.
What is the narrator's response when his supervisor asks, "Is that your blood?" Do you remember that scene?
Yeah. Oh, that was such a good scene too. Then he
Yeah,
explains
yeah,
like
exactly.
a human can consume so much blood and oh, what did he?
Yeah.
Is that your blood?
Or something.
Hey, Tats.
Wow, you gotta like.
He goes. He
specific
says
lines.
exactly. Yeah. Specific quote. Some of it. Yeah. So I guess he said some of the blood was his, some of it was somebody else's. All right. Where does Fight Club meet?
Where does Fight Club meet?
You did
In
say the
basement.
answer.
In the basement of.
previously.
Where do they meet? Wait. Where does Fight Club meet? Come on, Lou. We really
No,
love
it's in a
this place, Lou. In a basement. I mean, I
Lou's
can't
Bar
remember
in the
exactly the building.
basement. You said it.
Man.
Bing.
I said,
There you go. I'll give it to you. You
basement.
said Lou. It's in Lou's Bar, yeah, in the basement.
Lou's Bar. There it is. Tats.
Okay.
What's up, buddy? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up,
Second
guys.
last question. What's up, Tats?
I did say.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Say hi to everybody. Right there.
No, thumbs up.
Complete the sentence. I'm wondering if another blank is really the answer we need.
I'm wondering if
Answer is a woman. I guess because the film is about all these men in the Fight Club were raised by females. So there's a sentence where I believe Tyler says, wondering if we need another woman. All right, final question. Actually, no, 2 more questions.
Okay.
As they board the bus, which celebrity does Tyler say he'd like to fight?
Oh. Bob Barker?
Ernest Hemingway.
Ernest Hemingway.
Okay. This one.
Damn.
Who
Who
does,
did miss that one?
Last one. Who does the narrator say he wants to fight? Start.
Gandhi.
William Shatner.
William Shatner. The Shatner. Could have swore it was Gandhi.
So you got 8 out of 20 questions. Not bad.
That's almost half as good.
It's not bad.
You didn't have time to study.
No studying. All right. Then,
Should've-
now
Should've
now
watched
we're
the movie
moving on
before.
to one of a kind question.
Oh, we're
One of a
going on to
kind
one of the
questions.
next questions?
Yeah, that's Dee's question. So she'll be
What about
asking.
the questions? Okay. Alrighty, hope you're ready.
Ready to go?
Okay. How did you get into, and forgive me if I'm not saying it right, Odinism?
Odinism.
Odinism.
How did I
Thank
get
you.
into
Like, what
Odinism?
Yeah.
How could I put this without being insulting? I was really
Yeah.
turned off by like Christianity at a certain point in my life. Like my parents were super uber religious, but my grandparents were, and they tried to take me and my sister to church a few times, and it was not a fun experience. And from there, I kind of was just not into religion at all, and met a guy that was into Odinism, and some of the things that he was telling me about, just it's more about not worshiping but honoring your heritage than worshiping a certain deity or god or anything like that. It was just more about, you just want to just basically celebrate your heritage. So
Okay.
then that's what I would say.
Okay, so the religion that you did grow up with was like Christian?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so yeah, that's pretty tough. Me too, actually. Okay, well that's cool.
Yeah.
Since you have been married over 20 years, what's the secret to a successful marriage?
Secret to a successful marriage.
Yes.
The question everybody would love to know. I mean, there's a few different things. The old go-to is never go to bed mad at each other. I mean, that's always a go-to.
Okay.
Oof.
The wife is always right.
And yes, dear.
Happy wife. Happy
Well,
life.
the old happy wife, happy life, but happy hubby. Makes you chubby.
We still get the concept.
I was trying to find one earlier today, like happy hubby.
What?
Okay, I gotta think about it.
Yeah, think about it. Honestly, is doing things together on a regular basis, like as far as it just going to a park to have lunch. Something random, but on a regular basis. Not the old, oh, it's date night. Date night. Not really about the date night, but just when you go out and do things like, let's go on an adventure and let's just go drive and explore something. You tend to talk about things that are on your mind without arguing about things. So you'd be like, hey, what do you think about this? Oh, I don't really like that. And you're not really arguing. But if you're sitting at home and you're just frustrated with the day, and you gotta kind of take it out on each other, so it's just good to get out. I would say get out more often. And that would be one of the go-tos.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. I was going to say, and another thing is let your spouse be them. Let them be free as far as if they want to go out. Doesn't mean you have to tag along every time. You know what I mean? I learned that a long time ago because I'm a musician. And back in the day, the wifey would want to come to every show that I played, every show that I would go to. She wanted to go to, well, she started like, oh, well, you're just going to play the same set list, right? Yeah. It's the same bands I saw. I'm like, yeah. Well, just you go ahead. You go ahead. And that little bit of a breather from each other sometimes is the best medicine. It's the best medicine. You know? Yeah. What's that
you
saying?
Time to yourself.
Yeah, and it makes you grow fonder. Like I can't wait to see it. Like if I go on a trip, like when I went to Cleveland for a couple days to see the Bucks game and stuff. When I came back, I couldn't wait to see the wife. You know, because we had spent a few days apart. So those little sporadic things. That would be my top 3 things.
I think that's what the saying you were trying to say was absence make the heart go fonder.
There it is.
Is that it?
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Before we keep moving on to the questions, I just want to say hi to Headless Nick Stark, Killaholics, well, it's Horror Collector Fiend, DC Animal. Oh
yeah, DC Animal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
DC Animal.
What were the names of the bands you've been in, and the genre of music you played in each one?
Okay, so I've been in a lot of bands.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be like 4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah, a little more than that. I mean, I've played in groups for, I would say, like, let's say 6 months or so, and then that group would fall apart. Not due to me.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and say that. But, a lot of times when you're with a band, you play together fine. You're playing, everything's fine. Then you go to record. Well, then that's when everybody's stuff goes on the table right there. Like, you might as well just get naked. Because what happens is you're recording, nobody else, they're all standing around with headphones. You're playing, and you're like, am I doing okay? It sounds like crap. So, like, people get called out on their crappy musicianship because they're when you're playing live, I'm not concentrating on what the guitar player is doing the whole time. I'm too busy doing my craft. I'm too busy singing and playing an instrument. I can't concentrate on what the drummer's screwing up behind me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you missed that one snare or this or that. But then when you go to record and everybody hears it, then there's arguments that happen. But
Okay.
long story as far as that. But the band names and stuff. The first band I was ever in was called Threshold, which was more of like an 80s rock band, more along the lines of Teased Hair, like a Cinderella, Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Cool.
Poison, Bon Jovi, that genre of stuff. Twisted Sister. A hair band, I guess you would call it. And then we living in Florida. This is basically the death metal capital of the world. This is where death metal was born. And obviously, I immediately was in a death metal band called Calibus, which was Clash of the Titans. Calibus. I don't know if you know who that is. That was the name of that band. That was a death metal band. I was the front man for that band for approximately 5-6 years. I was front man for that.
A long time.
I ended up leaving that band because we played with the band Monstrosity, and at the time Monstrosity big band here in Florida, still are. They were on tour, and we had a great show with them guys. It could have been maybe a week later, and the drummer called me and was like, "Hey, we can't find our singer. He has disappeared, and we were wondering if you would front for Monstrosity."
Oh wow!
Oh wow.
Oh hell yeah, let's go. You know, so I ended up leaving Calabas and did a little bit with Monstrosity, and then that was the end of that for quite a while. And then I moved on to, oh, the Queen of the Kingdom just walked in. Then I moved on to black metal. Now I don't know if you know what black metal is. It was Norwegian death metal. You paint your face with the full King Diamond makeup, and it's it's dark and just spooky. So that band was called Ill Rotted Soul, and I was in that band another 5 years or so. We actually put out a very small album. And then the current band I'm in, because there's lots of other bands, but I want to make it a little bit faster. The current band I'm in now is called Kick 'em Ugly. So Kick E-M Ugly. Kick 'em Ugly. And it is a mix. It's a mix between death metal and southern hard rock. So you're going to get a mix of Pantera, and then you're going to get a mix of Cannibal Corpse. So we tend to mix those two. We're Floridians. We're Southern guys, and we love the Pantera Southern swag. So we call it redneck. So it'd be along the lines of Lamb of God, Pantera, Chimera, that style of music.
Right.
And at the time I joined, we were called Gossamer, which is the spooky guy in Bugs Bunny with the long hair and the red Converse shoes. His name is Gossamer. Well, so that was the name of the band when I joined. I wasn't the singer at the time, and they were doing a Pantera-esque rednecky type style music. Hank Williams Jr. the Third. I don't know if you know any of their music, but it's a heavy rock. And then I started doing the background vocals, and I was like, I got a couple songs. I got some vocal chops. So I started doing the death metal stuff, and we just added it to the list, and it became Kick 'em Ugly, because you get a little kick with the redneck, and you get a little ugly with the death metal. So we just combine the two, which blows people away. I mean, they'll be like, "Yeah, this is awesome. What the hell is he saying?" Kick 'em Ugly, and we're currently right now in the studio recording our album. Actually,
Oh, that's sick.
Oh, congrats on that.
Yeah.
thank you.
Go ahead, Sue.
Okay, could you expand on what a juggalo is and is a fan of?
A juggalo.
I'm very confused.
Juggalo. Yes, we're juggalos. Hatchet Man, through and through. Juggalo it was basically the first band that was they've gotten the moniker horrorcore because most of that style genre of music they rap about murder and mayhem. So it's kind of like death metal rap in a way. They're always talking about killing and chopping and cutting heads off, and so it's more of horror themed rap, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Horror themed rap. And when ICP first came out, I was just floored. Like, this is different. And I appreciate all music. Like, I listen to everything. I mean everything. I'm a musician, so it's just in my DNA. I like rap. I like hardcore. I like classical. I mean, I like everything. And that was just one of those bands that just blew me away back in the day. And it's just gotten, the following, we call each other family, and it holds true. It really does hold true. That fan base is one of the most loving fan bases, as crazy as that might sound. But you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, and you're walking down the road because you ran out of gas. If a juggalo sees another juggalo, he don't even know you. He'll stop and be like, "Hey, you need some help? You want to stay at my house tonight? You ain't got a place to stay? You hungry? Let's go to McDonald's." Like I even had I was $1 less, I think, on a purchase at like a convenience store once. I had my wallet, I was like, I was like, "Oh man, damn, I can't believe I." And the there was at least three people behind me, but he had happened to see that hatchet man. And he goes, I got you, fam. And dude just throws a 5 on the boom. I was like, dude, hell yeah, man. Whoop, whoop. Because that's one of the things the juggalos like to do. We all whoop, whoop. We do that.
Nice.
So I'm a huge juggalo metalhead. That's what we call it.
Very cool. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Even though their music
never.
can be gruesome, they're the nicest people. All right.
They really are.
Very
They really are.
Okay.
Fago.
How did Mr. Ugly become part of your life, or has he always been there?
Well, he's always been there. He's always been there. But I released Mr. Ugly for the first time during a Kick 'em Ugly show. It was a Halloween themed show, and at the time I had no ideas. I'm like, we're all supposed to dress up and play a gig, and then I just happened to have Mr. Ugly's famous mask, which I'm not even going to break him out because he'll get mad.
Okay.
He'll be like, oh, I thought I wasn't allowed to be part of the interview. No, you're not allowed to be part of the interview. Chill out. I'm in the spotlight. You do your thing. He's over there yelling. No, you just watch. I let him do one of the shows, and then from there on, he's just been nonstop. Like, I can't get rid of the guy. He just won't leave.
Very cool.
All right. So
What is the largest fish you ever caught?
Largest fish.
Yes.
I would go with the. I caught a lot of fish. I'm a huge outdoorsman. I'm gonna go. He was about a 13.5-pound catfish.
Whoa.
Big old boy. You fit both your fists in his
Did you
mouth.
eat him?
Yes, we did.
hey, Sharon.
He was damn delightful.
I wouldn't be throwing that guy back for sure. That's an amazing catch. My goodness.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey there, Sharon.
What's up, Aaron?
Okay. You emphasize that you spend time viewing Florida wildlife. Can you expand on a story that means something to you?
In the wildlife thing.
Yeah, you spend time
I
the wildlife.
I tend to save quite a lot of wildlife. I mean, being in Florida, you're just surrounded by it on a constant basis. And one of the animals that get like a really bad rap here in Florida is the iguana. Now, they're not native to Florida. You would think because there's so many of them. They're actually native to Cuba. But they're you're allowed to kill them here because they do tear up a lot of agriculture. But I really can't. I love reptiles in general, snakes, spiders. I love all kinds of wildlife. But one of the stories that really sticks out to me is we have a bridge here where I live. It's about 3 miles of a bridge to get to the other city, which is across a giant river. I was about halfway up that bridge and I see an iguana, a pretty big iguana. I would say almost 5 feet long. Going up the bridge the wrong direction, like going up the bridge as I'm going by, I'm like, was that it? I pulled over, It's like, walked up, I'm like, all right, don't you bite me or whip me, like, chill out, homie. And I threw a shirt over his head and picked it up and then realized, no, this ain't a he, it's a she, because her belly was so full of eggs. She was a big old fat belly. I picked this ass iguana up and I'm like, I can't put it in the back of the truck because if I'm driving, she's going to jump out. So I just got in the truck and had it on my lap and drove home with this giant ass iguana on my lap. And then it was so calm that I decided, which this is the reason why it sticks in my mind the most, I came in the house real fast to show the wife before I released it. So I run in, babe, she's in the background. I'm like, I go in the room, I'm like, check it out. She's like, God, get it out of here. I'm like, well, come with me. We're going to go release it. And we walked across the street to one of the canals and I took the shirt off her head and it just stood there for a minute, looked at me and it was perfectly fine. Got up, And I was like, come on. I tapped her in the butt. Boy, that thing jumped about 5 feet into the canal like a Olympic diver. Just go splash. But that one really sticks out in my mind. So yeah, the old iguana. The old iguana story. I've say baby
Very
owls
cool.
in the middle of roads. Those that was always cool too. Like stuff like that. I had the baby owl for like 3 days. Then
Wow.
we have a wildlife sanctuary here that I took him to, just because I'm not gonna raise an owl. But that was another one that stuck out.
Sure.
See you, girl.
What's a band you liked as a child but grew out of?
A band that I liked,
You liked as a child.
and grew out of. See that one. I can't say I've ever grown out of a band, like, because you'll even catch me these days. Like I'll make coffee in the morning and just pop on some old school hair metal, just because if I'm in the mood for some, Quiet Riot or something like that. Michael Jackson. Grew out of that.
Okay.
Never listened to that anymore. But when you were a child, Thriller. Yeah. So, that would be the one.
Nickelback.
Yeah, Nickelback is the worst.
Go everywhere
Oh,
with that.
no.
I want my nickel, dime, and quarterback.
Okay, since you're an animal lover, what's your favorite animal, and what animal do you dislike or fear?
Favorite, and which one do I dislike or fear? I don't fear any animal, period. Not one.
Really?
I mean, maybe a shark, but I mean, being in Florida, we jump off bridges and swim down canals, and that really never, I mean, I'm not really terrified. I've caught plenty of shark, so I'm not really scared of.
That's not great way.
No, I'm not.
Your pants.
How close have you come to a gator?
I just fished one out of a pool a couple months ago after the hurricane, so gators are all over the place in Florida. I've pushed big ones out of the middle of the road because there's 7 cars all taking pictures. Everybody's out of their cars, and there's just this gator sitting in the middle of the road. I'm like, well, is somebody gonna do something? Because it's gonna get run over. Like, nobody. Okay. And I'll grab him by his tail and let's go. Start dragging him, like, get him out of the road, bring him right into the median, then go, okay, you can go now. Like, everybody drive away. My favorite animal, I would say a wolf would be my favorite animal, and that would be damn terrifying to actually run into a wolf in the middle of the woods. So yeah, a wolf. Both questions. Right? Wolf. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. What is your favorite song you've created in any of your bands? Just one song.
My favorite song that I've ever created in my eek. See, you can't ask a musician that. That's not fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Recently?
Okay, what's one you're really proud of? Yeah.
I would say Severed Head Punishment would be Severed Head Punishment. It's a track that I wrote and recorded by myself. So I did the drums, I did the bass, I did the guitar and the vocals on that song and brought it to the band and was like, I want to do this. And we added it to the set list, and it's most likely going to end up on the album. As far as a song that I created with my fellow brethren bandmates, At Dawn They Die, which is about the Salem witch trials.
Right.
Okay.
At Dawn They Die.
Okay.
We got one more question.
Okay, so your favorite movie is Fight Club, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that you kind of relate to the main character, since the guy that he sees, Brad Pitt, is a figment of his imagination, and you have Mr. Ugly as a figment of yours?
Absolutely. I related with that movie a lot. A lot. I grew up in Southern California as a kid, man, and you were always having to scrap. Put up your, I grew up scrapping. you know. And then I moved to Florida, and it was a little different environment. And of course, I went to scrapping. So, and that was just one of those things. It's like, you can't be violent all the time. Well, he likes to be violent, the guy in my head. But I don't necessarily want to be violent, but you push me, I'll be violent. So yeah, I would say that would probably what drew me to that movie the most was the split personality, because the one guy is such a sweetheart guy, nice guy, but you know, there's a little violence in all of us. I mean, you push someone just a little too far, and whap.
Right?
Wait.
So,
Thank you for answering all my questions. You did so awesome. I'm a little bit more educated now on a few things.
so we have 5 Simon rando questions.
Before
we do that, I have one question in the chat.
Yes, we have one from Eric. Ask him about his video where he's holding the flag in the hurricane.
The American flag. No. Should have been rocking both the Bucks flag. Well, there was an old meme of a metalhead holding an American flag, and I do believe it was a Slayer song that was being played over the top, but he's just in the middle of, like, it looked like a hurricane winds, and he's doing this thing, and I just thought it was one of the coolest things. I was like, that is the most Florida redneck metal thing I've ever seen. And I'm going to recreate that next time a hurricane flies through. And we just went through a hurricane not too long ago. And I said to the wife, grab the camera, come with me. We're going to go shoot this. So I went there, like, bring it on, hurricane. I ain't scared. I didn't evacuate. I was like, let's go. Put up your dukes. Come on, hurricane. I'm going to flip it straight up Floridian. Let's go. So I was out there with the American flag headbanging with some Slayer.
With a beer.
With a beer, yeah. Okay.
All right, Simon, 5 questions. Randos.
Okay, Chase. What's Chase's meaning of life?
Chase's meaning of life. Chase's meaning of life. The meaning of life. Strength, determination, merciless forever. In everything you do.
Strength. Say it one more time.
Strength, determination, merciless forever. I got SDMF tattooed on my knuckles.
Oh,
And that's the meaning of life, because life is a struggle, and if you're not struggling, then you're not really, you're not playing the game of life if you're not struggling. We're all struggling. There's nobody's ever, even the millionaires are struggling to find their next, I don't know, Mercedes, but but that's the motto I live. That's my life motto. To have strength, determination, and be merciless forever.
All right, brother. All right. If money wasn't an object, what would you do?
If money wasn't an object,
Yep.
What would I do? What would I do? I'd probably start my own record
Is there a
label.
place you'd go? Okay.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I'd start my own record label.
Okay, go ahead.
If you found out you were going to die tomorrow, what would you do?
All the drugs.
Let's go.
Okay.
All the drugs. All of them. I mean, every kind you can try it all before you go. I mean, I don't know. I'm going out without freaking seeing rainbows riding a unicorn. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Or I'd go next door and punch my neighbor in the nose because I'd really want to do that before I die. I hate that guy.
If you can ask your future self one question, what would it be?
Ask my future self one question. What would it be?
Like if you want to know something in the future that you don't know now? Maybe something to do with family, or who's going to win the Super Bowl, or
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the
will we
next
win the Super Bowl
Tampa
ever again?
Well, I don't
Bay- I
know.
would ask him.
Yeah.
I would ask him. When's the guitar player for Rolling Stone gonna die? Keith Richards. This guy's a vampire. Is he ever going to die? When did he die? I swear to God.
Oh my God, that's a good one.
Number 5.
Last question. If you can tell your past self one thing, what would it be? Your past self.
One thing. What would it be? Ooh.
Something like to know back then that
Hmm.
could be resulted.
I don't really have a lot of things that I regret per se, as far as
Like, what would you tell little Chase as a boy? If you could say something to little Chase as a kid, what would you tell him?
Oh
Little
God.
Chase.
I would tell him that he should immediately start learning guitar. Like, immediately start learning guitar, because by the time you're a teenager, you would have mastered it, and then by the time you're, in your later years, you're gonna be on tour with the biggest bands in the world, just because you have the most ridiculous guitar skills ever. I would say learn an instrument to your best ability. Like, I'm self-taught, learned it later on in life. So my mom was a music teacher, so I dabbled in everything, but I never just stuck to one thing. I would say just stick to one instrument. Don't be playing with everything else. Stick to the one instrument. And you'll be better for it.
That's good.
All right, we have 3 more questions, the last 3 of the show. So, what is your biggest fear in life?
Biggest fear. Killer bees. Killer bees are my biggest fear. I'm allergic to bee stings. Any kind of sting I'm kind of allergic to. So being attacked by a swarm of killer bees. Or eaten alive by an animal of some sort. While, screaming he's eating your leg.
Right?
Not afraid of heights.
Couldn't
Not
regular
afraid of
Yeah.
killer bees.
Okay.
Blow up.
So, our second last question is, do you have any questions for us?
Oh yeah, of course I do. Always. Always got questions. I even got some questions right here. Shall I start?
Yes,
Shall
sir.
I start my questions? Okay.
Let's go.
How'd you meet Simon? How'd you meet that guy?
Family wandering the streets. I need a phone.
I'm gonna stay
no,
away from Funko questions.
I saw a couple of his videos. Then I found out he lives in Canada, and we started talking, and then we met at a festival.
Cool.
Fan Expo.
Toronto Expo.
Went
Toronto
together.
Expo,
Went together.
Yeah, we went together, and our relationship bloomed from there.
Blossomed.
Okay.
Bloomed.
Awesome and both great.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so we were just kind of chatting in the chats, and then somebody, I think Illuminati, was saying that he was going to the show Expo, Toronto Con, you call it, and I said I was interested in going, and Johnny's like, "Hey, well, I'm going," and I said, "Well, I got a card. You want me to pick you up, and we'll go down together," and then the rest was history. That's it.
Pretty awesome, man.
At first, I was like,
I love that.
I was like, Johnny's a quiet guy. When I he didn't warm up to me right away. So like, he kind of ignored me for a bit, but eventually he came around. So yeah, he's not as tough as he looks, by the way.
So you grew on him like a fungus.
Rico says they were in a boy band together called Moose Knuckle 5.
Yeah.
Moose Knuckle 5. Yes. Let's see. Let's stay away from Funko questions. Let's see. For all three of you, if you were a bartender,
right.
which famous person would you like to serve a drink to?
Dead or alive?
Either or.
Dead or alive? Okay.
Okay, good.
Johnny Depp.
What?
Johnny
Who's
Depp.
He would be so interesting to talk to at the bar, you know?
We can talk about his legal
Yeah,
situation.
that's it.
As long as he shows up as
Except
a
I'm
pirate.
going to say Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I love him.
Simon.
The best. It'd
Man,
be a good time.
I'm gonna have to do something smart, like maybe like Winston Churchill or something
Oh
like
my
that. You know,
Oh my god.
he's got some pretty famous quotes, so he'd have probably a crazy conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. That's it.
Oh, that's cool.
Or Dimebag Daryl.
Johnny
Dead
Depp.
Zone.
That'd be a party.
Okay. I'll keep it as short as I can. Let's see. Next question would be, what was the one thing you begged your parents for as a kid that they finally gave to you? Dog.
Oh,
bike,
my GameCube.
motorcycle.
GameCube.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to fight for that. 2 years later, after I got it.
Cat.
Got you.
But we were supposed to only get one, but they came as a couple. So my sister got a cat and I got a cat. So, again, we were only supposed to get one for us to have, but the society, the one that I picked out, they said no, they're a couple, a brother and a sister. So my mom gave in and got us two cats.
Cats.
Just want to say hey to Dead Zone and Funko Illuminati.
Oh hi
Daddy
guys.
in the house.
Oh wow,
Scott,
you're never gonna live down this
Dead
moose
Zone.
life thing.
No, I won't.
Years.
Hey, Funko Illuminati, you're part of that Moose Nut
Yeah,
for Five.
we decided you're part of the Moose Stuff 5 too. You're Canadian. You're in it.
You have no choice. What about you, Simon?
Yeah.
What'd you beg your parents for? And finally got
Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo
Super
16.
NES.
Like, I was the last person to have video games. All my friends. My dad bought me a computer. Thought it was video games for like brainwashed. So he's like, "I'll get you a computer instead." So,
Okay.
but eventually he gave in because like I only could play California games and Pac-Man for so much. And so when I got it, it was like Mortal Kombat came out, but it had no blood. So I was pretty disappointed. But the Genesis came with blood, so then I wanted Genesis. But,
Oh boy.
Nice.
yeah.
Me, I'm
dad was
going drum
over
set.
it.
Drum set. I'm making all that noise. Let's see. I got a couple more for you before we end this live. And if you guys are just joining us and you've been here and you haven't hit that thumbs up, how dare you? Hit that thumbs up right now. How dare you? Okay, here's a good question. What is something in life you really have an appreciation for that most people don't?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Could be anything. Your vehicle, house, love of your life,
I'd say family for me. I think my
family.
yeah. I mean, I really appreciate what my family's done over the past couple of years and the journey I've gone through. So I've never really appreciated until they were really there for me when I really needed. And if I didn't have them there, I don't know if I'd be sitting here. So.
Gotcha. Great answer.
I would say my wife.
What do you want?
Because you always support me on any journey I want to take.
Oh.
Brownie
Brownie
points,
points.
yeah.
Man. Let's go. Finish it.
Well, but very nice, sweetie.
Your turn.
I would say something similar to that too. I haven't had always the most support in my life from my blood family. So having the people that are in my life right now means the world to me in a lot of the challenges that I face sometimes. It's always nice to know that we got you no matter what. I haven't really had that growing up. So you really do appreciate the people that, even if they're your blood or not, the people that actually are for you thick and thin, that is very rare to find. Real true friendship and real true loves in your life. So I agree with that. I'd say that for sure.
Awesome.
Very rare thing nowadays.
Funko Illuminati. Johnny would say his wife first, then his girlfriend. Okay,
Then his girlfriend. The last question I would have would be, what is your kryptonite? What is your kryptonite?
Nickelback. No, I'm just joking. Yeah.
It can be good or bad. I mean,
Good or bad.
Good or bad.
Good or bad?
yeah, like for me, my kryptonite is whiskey. I love it. I love it too much. So that's my beer.
Yeah.
Now we
Beer
talking
and
Labatt?
chips.
We talking Labatt Blue? What kind of beer?
Nobody drinks that up here.
Nobody
Okay.
It's like Australia's drinking Fosters. They don't drink Fosters.
They don't drink Foster.
You know, it's like Lake Ontario water.
I've had a couple of Black Blues. They're not terrible. I've had worse. There's worse beer out there.
I'll say chocolate.
Chocolates, yes.
Yes.
My God, you give me a whole thing of chocolate. Like,
Okay.
Oh, it's bad.
That's your kryptonite, Simon.
chips and my kryptonite.
Oh, alcohol for sure, man.
You
Alcohol,
too?
yeah.
Not,
Definitely, yeah.
not weed. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't smoke weed.
Oh, sorry. I meant cigarettes.
It's medical. Everybody says that's the new thing. It's medical. I got a prescription. I even got a prescription.
It's legal here in Canada. Is it legal in Florida?
Yeah.
It
Oh
is?
yeah, we got dispensaries
Well, I
all
think
over the place.
states-
It's been longer than us.
No, I just wonder because not all the states it's legal.
I know,
Yeah.
but Florida has been
Florida's
there for
good?
a while. Yeah.
I think they're one of the first.
One of the first, yeah.
Yeah, and it
So
depends
our
on the
li-
state you're in. Like some states, you have to have an actual medical marijuana card, and other states, you just have to be 18 or older. You can just walk in and buy whatever you want. So they put a limit on, you can't have more than 2 ounces or some crap. But yeah, Florida's right along those lines. Colorado, I think, is the best place right now for that kind of thing.
Yep.
If you're into that.
So-
if you're into that kind of thing.
Our final question is, do you have any up-and-coming projects, any up-and-coming videos you want to promote on the podcast?
Up and coming projects that I have right now is I'm in the studio with Kick 'em Ugly currently, and it's long overdue. 10 years with Kick 'em Ugly, which is just crazy.
Wow.
So I can't wait to get this album done. We've gone through multiple members throughout the years and stopped playing for months upon months, and then got right back on the horse. So that I'm looking forward to finally getting that accomplished. And as far as like videos and stuff like that, I'm looking forward to this Dead Zone Citizen mystery box, man. Freaking out. I got sodas from Dead Zone Collectibles, and I'm supposed to be doing a battle with Proper, Barbarian, and Collectors. I can't remember right now, man. Too much whiskey. But I'm telling you, I'm freaking out. I've had this box for 2 weeks, and I can't stand it. I need to open this box. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be coming up this week. I'll give me a second. I'll tell him. All right. He wants me to do something real quick. 'Cause he wants to make his 2 cents. I'll stop the camera, and then you can talk. Just give me a second. All right. You want to tell him what you're looking forward to doing? Yes. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hello, this is T and Johnny and the Funko Friends podcast. Oh, this is so awesome. Chase is going to let me talk real quick. And I'm currently doing video reviews on spooky videos, like spooky music videos. And Chase let me do one for the band Behemoth. So he's going to be maybe doing. I want to do it next week, man. Quit putting it on the back burner for your stupid Funkos, man. Oh, well, but I'm doing music videos, so come to Chase's channel and look for Mr. Ugly video reviews. Oh, come on, I want to hang out too. No, go, man. Just go. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for having Chase's Kingdom. And Mr. Ugly, I'm going to go because Chase is lame, man. He's just lame. Man, why you just got to end it like I'm lame? Like,
Take it easy, Mr. Ugly.
You know. I guess, well, Mr. Ugly's doing music video reviews on, like, the most brutal death metal. And we shot a couple of them. Can't do them live because they'll cut us off. But I am looking forward to having Mr. Ugly contribute to the community a little bit and have some fun with that. And as far as me, I'm always doing videos. You can always catch me every Saturday morning for Morning Brew Funko Review on Chase's Kingdom. We do Funkos, we do the latest and greatest, mystery unboxing, subscription unboxing. Sometimes we have some guests. You never know what could happen. So you got to join me every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time for Morning Brew Funko Review. And I'm always doing videos, so you just follow my channel. Try to put out at least a video a week. And I'm doing shorts constantly. Constantly been doing the shorts. A lot of Spider-Man, a lot of Spidey. So definitely check that out. Well, that's what I got going. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show, man. I totally enjoyed it. It was totally a blast. You guys in the chat are awesome. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Follow me. Find the link. It's in there somewhere. Follow the link. Go over to Chase's Kingdom. Speaking of, up to 925 subscribers. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm thinking I'm going to be doing it next week. A grand finale giveaway. Thank you to all you awesome people for following Chase's Kingdom and supporting me for the past couple years. Couldn't have done it without you, obviously. Couldn't have done it without you. 925 subs. Thank you guys so much, man. But you guys are awesome. Thanks for having me, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show, and thank you everybody in the chat for being here. Thank you, Eric, for those amazing questions. Thank you, Dee, for being our moderator this wonderful day. This has been another episode of Funko Friends Podcast, and we are out.
Join the kingdom, be the kingdom. Let's go.